Hi, I'm off sick for the next 5 days, so I'm going to try read as much as humanly possible. We're starting with Will Prescribe You a Cat. I'm all of 10 pages into it, so I'm starting off the day at like 11:15. It's my first day of being off sick with a throat infection once again, so this is going to be my first book. I have like 8 books left on my physical TBR. I would like to make a very large dent in it. Maybe read like 4 books in 5 days. Can I do it? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But we're going to get started. So, update on the book. I've read a grand total of about 2 more pages, but there's 2 things I kind of need to say and want to say. This has no chapters. And I love to listen to it on the audiobook. The problem with it being no chapters is if I listen to the audiobook for a bit and then I want to go read, I'm not going to be able to find my place. So I kind of have to read it and like listen along with the audiobook, but I like to like go between the two a lot of the times when I'm reading books. But this genuinely has no chapters at all. Oh, maybe there is chapters actually. Okay, I've discovered chapter 4. Where is chapter 2? That would be nice to know. Okay, so this is about like 5 separate people, I think. Yeah, so I'm on the first person, but like... Okay. There is chapters-ish. It's like 5 separate stories, I think. So I'm gonna have to keep reading. But... Anyway. That's the update. I kind of can't flip between audio and audio and physical book, but gonna keep reading. Okay, so we have the first guy, and he got the cat, and 3 days later he'd like take it back, because this whole premise of the book is there's this unique therapy where they prescribe you a cat, and he is there, and he's like, take back the cat. I just got fired from my job because of this stupid cat. And the doctor's like, that's what you wanted. You didn't like your job. You were trying to find a way to leave. And it's just kind of this funny moment. But I'm not sure how it's gonna go, because I've only started and there's a good chunk left of his story. And he's already fired from the job, which is kind of the source of his misery. Or is it? Maybe that's the point, is that he's actually like, the job isn't the whole reason he's sad or whatever. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Curious. It's just curious. But I thought I'd give an update on that because I'm not really sure. My brain is doing this thing where it's very hard to concentrate on anything, so I think I need to just not read, honestly, for a while. Just maybe find a good audiobook and listen to that while coloring or gaming or something. The sun is really coming in. I look like Casper the Ghost right now, but we're gonna ignore that. Yeah, I think I need to just switch off my brain. It seems like the only thing I can read at the moment is audiobook, and it's becoming a problem. So what I might actually do is drop the audiobook for this and actually try to just read it while listening to music. That might be my problem as to why I'm failing to concentrate, because I'm just relying too much on audiobooks at the moment. And because the audiobooks there, I'm not really concentrating as much as I should be. Yeah, okay, that's my plan. I'm going to find a different audiobook to listen to. And I'm going to game for it, but while listening to said audiobook. It's probably going to be the sequel to The Dagger and the Flame, because I've got that on queue for the library. So I might listen to that, and this will be my physical read, and I'm going to force myself to just physically read it. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Okay, I'm immediately eating this up. I'm loving it. I'm on chapter 4. listening to it is so fun. I think this is what my brain needs right now. Just switch off and listen. I will attempt to physically read the other one. I need to actually read books again. I genuinely can't remember the last time I just read a book without the audiobook. It has been too long, so I'm going to force myself to do that. For now, my brain is feeling a bit what, so I'm going to go have a shower to try and like decompress. Because right now, I kind of can't concentrate on the book that I want to physically read. So I'm going to try and clear this a bit. I just did skincare, and I'm no beauty influencer, but I'm going to show you what I did anyway. So for tonight's shower routine, I have the vitamin C sleep mask. The actual name is totally rubbed off, but let's just say I love this thing a lot. It is the vitamin C, the Boots own brand vitamin C brightening sleep mask, and I love this. I have the face cream which I wear every day. This is the only mask I use because my skin is quite sensitive. I don't like those like hardening masks or anything like that. So sleep mask all the way. Before I put that on, actually, I used lactic acid. So it's the only scrub again. I've got quite sensitive skin. So I applied that, and then face mask afterwards. I've been told that after using a chemical exfoliant, using sleep masks after is quite good. Then I popped on some eye patches. You can barely see them actually on now, but it's the Bayana Skin Under Eye Gels. I try everything for my under eyes. Nothing ever really makes a difference, but God loves a trier, and I'll continue to try. And now I'm just popping on the Laneige Lip Sleep Mask. I've used a good bit of this. I am quite a fan, though I will say I haven't found a huge difference between that and a normal lip balm, because I have the lip balm of this too, the Laneige lip balm in berry fruit, and they do the same job in my opinion, and I haven't found a difference between this and any of my other lip balms that I use. It smells nice, it feels nice, but there's nothing standout about it for me. But that is just my opinion. It's a very good lip product, but so are all the other ones that I use. There's nothing particularly amazing about this one for me, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, that is the skincare. You are propped up on a shelf in my dressing table, but anyway, we move. For hair, I have the shampoo from L'Occitane that I adore. I don't really have a set conditioner, which I should probably get the conditioner version of that shampoo. That's expensive, and I haven't quite committed to that yet. But for my hair, then I use the detangling spray to just go through my hair from Tangle Teaser. It is fine. I'm not hugely fond of the smell of it, but it's fine. And then for the first time ever, I've used the VO5 Heat Protect. I've had this for ages and I've just thought to use it today. So we'll see how we go with that, and definitely flatten my hair, which is good because I feel like my hair gets really poofy when I get out of the shower. So maybe it'll become a staple, considering it's sitting in my dressing table unused. I should probably start to use it. I think I bought it originally when I used to straighten my hair a bit more, and whereas now I went through a phase of not using any heat on it and letting it dry naturally, but it's into the winter months and I'm already sick, so I don't want to leave my hair dry naturally and catch a worse cold. So I'm going to dry it, and that's basically my plan. Then I need to tidy up my vanity because it's a bit of a mess. I took everything off of the shelf that you are now propped up on, so I need to put it back in an orderly manner. Okay, I haven't read lots, but I've read enough. You know, I've made a small dent. About 40 pages, 47 pages in, and I am loving just reading. Who knew? Apparently not me, because I've been relying on audiobooks so much. I think I do even know. I think subconsciously, because this definitely wasn't an intentional thing, but I became in competition with myself, and I just had to read books so quickly. Whereas this, I'm only 47 pages in. I've been reading it like for a while, and I am liking it. This feeling of having to slow down is so nice, actually, and I'm just enjoying it for what it is. I have my fast-paced. Actually, I don't have the book with me. It's actually up here on the shelf, but The Rebel and the Rose, the sequel to The Dagger and the Flame. That will be my fast-paced book, which I will listen to on audiobook for the most part, and play video games while I am listening to it, and that is fine. I just want to stop doing that for every single book, so that I actually sit down with a book and it's the only thing I'm concentrating on, as opposed to listening to a book and doing a million and one other things as I listen to it, be it cleaning, be it tidying, be it scrolling mindlessly on my phone, because that was starting to happen too. Whereas I'd pop on an audiobook and then I'd just scroll Instagram for the entire night, which is, again, not a good use of my time. So I've actually locked myself out of all of my apps since about 12:30, 2 o'clock today. I don't know, somewhere between that time, pretty early on in the day. So I haven't been on any social media all day, and it's great. So I think I'm gonna hopefully continue that, where social media is like a 1 hour a day kind of thing for me, because I completely got rid of TikTok. The account is still there, I've just uninstalled it from my phone, and I think I need to reduce Instagram to an hour a day, because I replaced TikTok with Instagram Reels. I did replace TikTok a little bit with YouTube, which I really liked, because I had completely stopped watching YouTube for months. And I've also been doing colouring. I've been reading, but I just want to keep reading with my eyes. That's like the main thing from this vlog. And I've been doing other things besides being on TikTok, but I need to now just totally get off socials, I think. Besides a little bit of Instagram for book content, but if I think about it, really, social media adds very little in my life. I actually like just being in the imaginative world, Anyway, gonna get back to it. I'm loving it. Hello, it is not the morning. I'm going to say good morning, but it is literally 2 p.m. I did not get to sleep till quite late last night, and I'm woken up, my throat is kind of more sore than it was, so that's great. But a little update on Prescribe You a Cat. I've read the first story and about the first cat, and I am 100% back in my reading groove. I really like kind of slow meditative books, and I like books with quirky premises, and this certainly fits that, in terms of these people go to these therapy clinics that they've been recommended by somebody's mother's, daughter's, friend's, cousin, and the prescription is a cat. It's definitely interesting and unique, and I love cat books. I have to put that down to the fact, number one, I do love cats, but number two was Raylene LeMay on the Books and Bound podcast. It is the only podcast I've listened to, and for quite a while she was collecting and recommending cat books. It was like her thing. She likes to, well, they both do, Ariel and Raylene. They'll have a specific niche or genre that they collect a lot of, and one of Raylene's was cat books, and I adopted that habit. So whenever there's a cat book, I read it, because I just think that cats are so unique, and possibly, I mean, I could never know, but I feel like they're misunderstood, because people are always like, they're not affectionate, they're not this, they're not that, they're cold, they're vicious, and no, they're not, because I've had many a cat in my life, I used to adore them. Anyway, I've got to that, so I'm on to the second story, and I can't wait to read it. Now I'm so freaking tired, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but I hope to finish the second one. Yesterday I had great hopes that I was going to like read 3 or 4 of them, and only one left for tomorrow, but as you can tell, I'm a bit dead today. I also read How to Do Nothing because I've been kind of thinking more and more about my social media habits and how much time I'm spending on my phone and how much I dislike it, actually. So this was another Books and Bound recommendation from years ago. Now I bought it, and I'm going to just dip in and out of it. I'm not going to be too kind of regimented in my reading of this, but last night as well I also kind of went through my Kindle library, and I have had this Kindle Unlimited subscription for 2 years, and it is not something I use regularly enough. I've used it, and I've been happy to have it for 2 years, because I've read quite a few books from it, like the entire off-campus series, which I adored. I know it's quite different to what I'm reading right now, but I do have those moments of liking those kind of more raunchier books. But I've decided I cancelled my subscription last night because I have a load of books on my Kindle that I have bought with my money that I have not read, and they've been sitting there for like easily years, so I need to read those before I get back on my Kindle Unlimited grind again, which I will. Like, I will get it again. I'm just kind of taking a bit of a break. That was just a big ramble about what I did last night when I had a bit more energy than I do now. Today, I'm just gonna make my bed, kind of get myself a little bit more presentable than this, and you can see my bookshelf behind me. There's a few things I'd like to tidy in that, so when I'm doing that I might listen to The Rebel and the Rose on audiobook. I haven't got too far into that. I have it up here. Ooh, oopsies. I have got I'm on the 4th chapter. I listen to that as audio. It's very intense, and I don't know if that's kind of what I want or need at the moment. But I feel like my other book is maybe balancing it out, so it's not so bad. But I'm just going to listen to that on audio. I'm not going to bother physically reading it. This was very kindly sent to me by the publishers, but I had to read the first book first because I never read it. I would have been so confused. But I'm excited to read this now. But I don't know if I'll be devoting more of my time to it. I'll probably be focusing more on Will Prescribe You a Cat. So that's a little update on what I'm doing and what I have done. Next is I need to get up and tidy my room a bit and make myself look a little less dead. So I just tidied the bookshelves. They don't look very different, but there's definitely more space on the shelves, especially this one. And I got rid of a few books, not many, literally 3. I also cleaned down, I wiped down the shelves, which that's been well overdue. So I've gotten to the point where I really only have books on the shelves that I either really, really like, or else, if they're not absolute favourites, they're kind of nostalgic for me. And the 3 I'm getting rid of is The Girls Are Good. I got this in a blind book date thing. I listened to it on audiobook in the end, more or less. So I think I'm just going to pass this on to somebody else. Probably put it in the donation pile at work. and similarly to this, Grief is the thing with feathers. It was good. There were some moments that were very poignant, but it was a bit weird and a bit difficult to follow for me, and I often hold on to books so my mom can read them, and she read this and she felt the same way about me. She felt the same way about it as me, should I say. We both kind of were like, it was good, but a bit, like she said, it was a bit weird, and it was a bit weird, but for me it was also a bit hard to follow. So at times you kind of would jump from one thing to the other and you were kind of unsure who was talking at that given moment. So I'm going to pass this one on. I think glad to have read it and kind of know what that phenomenon is about, because I actually heard Max Porter in conversation with somebody else I can't remember right now, but Max Porter talking about this book, so it's good to actually understand what he was on about, because I hadn't read it at the time, but it's time to part with it. And then the other one is This Is Family Remains. I read it, The Family Upstairs, and I actually really enjoyed the original, and the sequel wasn't as good. My problem with this is the proof copy, so I don't know entirely what I'm meant to do with it, because I know you're not meant to like keep, well, the one place I go to donate books doesn't take proof copies, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. But for now it's gonna go, because if I ever reread it, I'm gonna reread it on the Kindle, because that's where I have the first book anyway. Now, I didn't really film a huge amount of it. Mostly I had a lot of things accumulated on my windowsill that I wasn't going to film, because I don't want to share my location. But in the midst of it, I found my crochet that I attempted to learn. I got really far, as you can tell, but I was watching, I can't think of the name of the YouTuber right now, booktuber, but she was doing crochet and she crocheted 2 scarves, and it really made me want to get into it again, or at least give it another go. So I might try do that tonight. So I'm gonna leave that on my bed for now. But the last thing is to just give my bookshop a little tidy. There's not a lot I can do considering I don't have a lot of space, but I'm just gonna go through it. Maybe in the midst do a little bit of a spring clean. It's November. Do a November clear out. I was trying to come up with something really clever there, but it didn't work. No clever thoughts in my head today, but anyway, I'm going to just go through it, and if there's anything that I'm like, I don't want to keep this, I'm going to eat it. So that's it for me for now. Hello. The lighting's kind of shoddy in here for filming, but it's very atmospheric. I just finished the second cat in this book, Margot, and I'm about, as a result, 50% through the book now, so that must mean the other 3 cats are shorter stories, but I'm really enjoying this. I've always said The Trapping Cat Chronicles is one of my favourite books of all time, that and Open Water, but in terms of cat books, I just love The Travelling Cat Chronicles. This is rivaling it. I'm really loving this book. I'm really loving this book. So I'm going to continue reading it, but maybe not any more tonight. I might take a little break and attempt to do some crochet. Let's see how that goes, because as you saw, didn't get very far before. Anyway, that's my little update. The book is just, it's so sweet and heartwarming, and it's all these, so far it's been 2 men, I think, that have gotten cats, and inadvertently it helped them with some scenario they were dealing with in their lives that was causing them to be depressed or unhappy. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's just so heartwarming. I love books and I love cats. It's great. I have crocheted a bit of something. I'm not really showing the internet part because it's shit, and it'll probably make most of you who are very good at crocheting cringe. But everyone's got to start somewhere. But I've got a second row, and we'll leave it at that. I will say I don't find it relaxing. Yet it is not something I would do to unwind. Yet it takes a lot of concentration for me. I crocheted. This was my very first thing. It was so bad, but I was like, I'm keeping it for the memento. I literally went off in a circle. Like I was going fine, and then it just went. So yeah, it's a very crooked 2 rows, but what I'm crocheting now, I'm gonna hopefully make it like into a little square that I can use as a little coaster, but we'll see. Because I don't want to just keep randomly crocheting and just have loads of bits. If I can make it in something, no matter how bad it is, because it will be bad, that'd be great. So now I think I'm gonna read. Harry was stirring back there. But I'm gonna read now, I think, as well. Just to unwind and maybe watch a bit of YouTube again. But I gave it a go. Crochet is going to take some time and some effort and some practice. But I've done better than I've done before, because I bought my yarn and the crochet hook and everything about a year and a half ago, and I haven't touched it for about a year and 5 months, I'd say. I'm so bad in the sense that if I don't get something immediately, I get really frustrated, and I'm like, oh, not doing that. Whereas I need to persevere. Afternoon, it is 3 o'clock, and I'm just starting to vlog now because if you saw the last clip, I was awake all night. I could not sleep. I think it's the medication I'm on for my throat infection, but I literally could not sleep all night. I eventually, I went to sleep, well, attempted to go to sleep at 1 o'clock, lights out 1 o'clock. I was twisting and turning until 3:30 when I decided I'm not getting anywhere with this. I'm just going to get up and start reading my book, which I did. So I read another chapter, so I have just one left. So I'm reading and just listening to music and trying my best to fall asleep. I eventually did put lights out at about 4:45, and I slept from 4:45 to 8:15. Woke up again, had to run to the bathroom, and then I was kind of lying awake again until about 9 o'clock, and I slept from around 9 o'clock to 12:30 midday. So I've had the worst sleep ever. Like, when I was still awake at 4:45 and hadn't got a wink of sleep, I was like, I'm going insane. Because it wasn't that I wasn't tired, I just could not fall asleep. Anyway, that's my rant on that. I have 1 chapter left. This is easily a 5-star book for me. I'm absolutely loving it. I think all of the stories are so, shall we say, effective and poignant and resonate with me. And they're all quite different, because the premise is the same. Each get a cat, but it's for different reasons. And the cat is their prescription. And there's a bit of magical realism in it as well, which I always find I get with Japanese fiction, any of what I've read anyway. So I'm going to continue reading this, going to finish this, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do much else today. I did also listen to The Rebel and the Rose last night in my attempt to fall asleep, so I've got a few more chapters of that done. I don't know what chapter I'm on though yet, so I'll probably continue reading that once I finish this. But I've not much else to say for today, honestly, so I won't be really vlogging for the rest of the day. I'm just too wiped. But this is a 5-star. That's not going to change in the last chapter. But that's all for today. See you tomorrow. Hopefully a little more chirpy than I am today. and hopefully more rested, because the under eye bags are already bad enough. I don't need to be awake until 4:45 every day. That's definitely not gonna be. I finally have a 5-star read, and I have not had a 5-star read since August, because I looked back on my reading journal, and I read a lot of books in August. I read 9 books in August. Holy crap, that's the most I've read in a month all year. So I read 9 books in August, and one of them was a 5-star read. Well, 2 of them, one was for reviewing for Children's Books Ireland, so it was a kid's book, but I gave it 5 stars, and same with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, I gave that 5 stars, but like, those are just children's books that I adore, so I kind of don't really count them as like 5 stars. I'm raving about them, but in terms of adult novels, I only have 1 5-star that month, and it was Tablespoon by Emma Gannon. Then I read 3 books in September, none of them were 3 stars, and then I read 4 books in October, and none of them were 5 stars, and I've finally reached November. So it's been a while where I've just been reading 4-star, 3-star books. Some of them were 3-star. To be fair, in September and October they were all 4-star books, but nothing gave me the 5-star feeling until I read that. So yeah, August was the last time. September and October were just 4-star months, and until this one. So November has changed the tide, and hopefully we can continue it. I just love this. I love cat books, and I love Japanese fiction because it brings in magical realism. Like, there's some of this where you're really questioning yourself in terms of, is this happening or is it not? But I don't want to spoil it. You know the premise, and I've told you that it's 5 different cats, 5 different people. There is a bit of overlap in a couple of the stories in terms of one of the characters in the last, in story 5 and in cat 5 is linked to story 4, and there's someone back in a few of the other ones too, but I probably just didn't pick up on it at the time, but it was very evident between 4 and 5 that there was a link there. But you could kind of dip in and out if you wanted to read them not in order. You probably could. It's just a 5-star for me, and it was just so number 1, unique, kind of meditative, and emotional as well, and kind of there's life lessons in there too. Just read it. I'm really bad at describing books, especially when I love them, because I'm just like, it's great, I want you to read it now. So that's that. 5-star. I'm now gonna go shower and just try and actually get some sleep tonight. But when I'm winding down, in the meantime, I was going to read more of this, but I actually think it's a bit too intense for somebody who is going to try and sleep tonight. I'm on chapter 9, so 114 pages in, and I'm quite enjoying it, but it is very intense and stressful and whatnot, and I need calm in my life tonight so I can hopefully sleep. So as a result, I'm going to read this, which I don't think is neither calm or peaceful or anything like that. It's a love story with the pulse of a thriller, apparently, but I do need to start cracking on with this because it's the book for the book club I run at work, and I kind of want to just get it out of the way so I can focus on my own reading. So that is my plan, is to start it, because I don't think I'm going to be too much on the edge of my seat after a few pages. I would be very surprised if that was the case. So I'm just going to give it a go and start that, and then call it a night. So that's the extent of my vlogging for today, but it's just been one of those days, you know. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow with more updates. Maybe. We'll see. I just need to sleep for 100 years, to be honest with you. Okay, bye! Really quite tired, so I'm going to hit the bed in the hopes I actually get to sleep tonight. But before I go, I was going to say that I have read the first few chapters. I'm on page 29. There's no chapter numbers. It's just before or after the trial, 1968, 1955. So I think I'm on chapter like 8 or 9. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm immediately intrigued and kind of hooked on this. I think this could have potential to be a 5-star as well if it concludes in a good way and in a satisfying way. So it opens with Beth, and so the past timeline is Beth and Gabriel was her first love, and then they go their separate ways, and there's a lot of pain there for her. The present, she's married to this farmer. She's on the farm, and her husband's name is, there's 2 brothers, so I'm getting confused as to who's the husband, but she's married to a husband. I think Frank's the husband, and Timmy is the brother, I believe. And anyway, they're on the farm. This is present time. They're on the farm, and then their lambs start getting attacked by a dog. Turns out, anyway, they shoot the dog because it's killing all the lambs. And then this little boy runs up and he's like, "You killed my dog." And then the little boy's dad comes along and turns out it's Gabriel. So that's how Gabriel comes into Beth's life again. And then there's also, at the very beginning, there's this trial. So we're told it's a farmer or something. Like, we're told that somebody's shot dead, but we don't know, is it Gabriel or is it Frank? Because from the blurb, we're told that they're at a trial and Beth is looking at the man she loved, but it's evident from the very beginning that she loves both men. And you're like, which one is it? How did they get to that point? One of them is dead. We don't know which one. But it's also kind of said that the person on trial is not guilty. They're innocent, and it's very intrigued so far. So I'm really looking forward to actually continuing this, but not tonight. I need to get into my laba and sleep. But that's just a little update on this. I think this is just going to be my next main read. I kind of, let's just say, I was like, oh, I have to read this so I can read what I want. But now I'm actually like, no, I'm going to quite enjoy this. So I think I'm going to put this ahead of The Rebel and the Rose for now. The Rebel and the Rose will continue to just be a purely audio read for me. But anyway, that's my little update. See you tomorrow. Hopefully more rested than this. Don't know how much reading I'll get done tomorrow because I have a family thing, but hopefully I'll be less tired. This was the outfit. Also, I'm aware that my camera does this weird flashy thing. I'm not sure how to fix that, so if anyone actually knows what's going on, please let me know, because it's quite annoying. But yeah, this is the fit for the day. Now time to take it off and get it cozy. Y'all, I can't wait to get cozy. It's like my peak, you know. Yeah. It's about time I discussed my thoughts on this book, because I finished it last night and that I actually concluded this vlog. Broken Country was so gripping at the beginning and I was really intrigued. I've kind of given a backstory in the story already, but from the outset, from the get-go, we are told that a farmer has been shot. We don't know by who, we don't know which farmer, because there's a few, we don't know anything. And you are wondering what is going on. To be honest, this is a very tragic story, and what actually happens truly is tragic. However, about 40% into the book, I didn't really want to continue it, due to the fact that all of the characters were really flawed, except for genuinely just maybe one. But even that character, like, none of them were perfect, really. There's one character, maybe, who did a very noble thing. So redeemed himself for something else. But the rest of them, not redeemable at all, right? Okay, so that's that, right? The whole not liking the characters. Therefore, like, no matter how compelling and riveting and intriguing the plot is, because it was, if the characters are not likable and you're finding it very hard to root for any of them, it's kind of hard to want to read the book. But I persevered. And was it a great story? Yes, it was. Did I predict several things? Yeah. It kind of hinted at it. I was like, I think I know what's going to happen. And I ended up being right. I was like, I think this person got shot. And then I was right. And then I also was like, I think this person did it. And then I was right. So nothing surprised me. Not even the really big twist at the end. That made me emotional, I admit. I got misty-eyed at the very end. But I still saw it coming. Like, I just wasn't surprising. It was predictable. The characters were not great people. And there's other things I could say as well that kind of would give the plot away, but I'm not going to do that. Well, actually, to be fair, it does say it was a secret affair until it was a public scandal on the byline. So I think it's safe to say, yeah, sure, there's an affair in there. And, well, let's just say she doesn't get shafted for it by her husband. And I'm like, no. just no. Since when do we take back people that we are that cheated on us? Like, no. I don't excuse cheating. Sorry. So yeah, all in all, 4 stars. A very good book. But people are acting like it's the best thing since sliced pan, and it's just not. It's not the best thing I've ever read. Was it thrilling? Was it gripping? Was it devastating? Sure. Not the best thing I ever read, though. And we're going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching my vlog. I'm going to see you in the next one, whenever that may be. But for now, I'm back to my fantasy, and I'm reading The Rebel and the Rose. And I'm also reading Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know which one it is. I've 2 left, and they all are both love stories. I don't know which one. Pause. Let's pause. Okay, I'm reading After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid as well. But I'm having a good time. I'm at the start of both. Well, actually, no. I'm about 40% through The Rebel and the Rose, and I'm 1 chapter into the other one. So